everybody. Welcome to Guitar 101 Part 4, where we learn a new chord and our first pop rock song that you guys may recognize. I know as much fun as Billy Ray Cyrus' Achy Breaky Heart is, I also know most of you don't know that song and that you don't really want to play Happy Birthday. But we're going to learn our fourth chord, and once we know 4 chords, we're actually able to play most pop rock songs. So the chord we're going to learn today is an E minor chord. What I really like about this chord is I get to strum all 6 strings at once. Love it. All right, so to play that E minor chord, we're going to take our second finger in the 2nd fret on the 5th string, press down, and we're going to take our 3rd finger in the 2nd fret on the 4th string. And that's it. So that's going to sound a little something like this. Minor chords. And that's what that little M means there. So when we have a little M next to something, that means it's a minor chord. A little creepy sounding. I love it. So our E minor chord. If it doesn't sound like that, a couple of things that might be happening. We might not be pressing our fingers down hard enough. Making that sound. We might be accidentally touching another string. Getting that sound up there. Or we might be out of tune. Did you tune your guitar before you started this? If the answer is no, pause it down, tune your guitar. You know you're supposed to be doing that. It's true. All right, so that's our E minor chord. We're just going to practice it a couple times. We're going to go E minor 3, 4, lift off, and we go back to E minor 3, 4, lift off, back to E minor 3, 4, lift off, back to E minor 3, 4, pause. And that's just getting used to lifting our fingers up and down from that. All right. So the song we're going to be learning today is called Cool Kids. It's by a band called Echosmith. Now, you might be thinking right off the bat, you're like, I don't know who that is or that song. I promise you do. It was on the radio, still on the radio, I think. And it's like, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. We're going to learn to play that today on guitar. So what you have in front of you here on the slide is the chord progression that they use. So our chord progression starts on that new E minor chord and then goes over to the C. So following the line, it goes over to the C. So first finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. Remember, that's our one that's kind of like steps. We've got to make sure our fingers are nice and curled here. Oops, and I had an extra string. Can you hear that sound that my guitar is making? That means that something's not pressing down quite right. Let's fix that. Ooh, still. Gotta cut those nails, I'm telling you. There we go. Our C. And then we go to G. It's kind of like a really sideways triangle. And we end our chord progression on the D. So a little triangle. So remembering, our D is that one that's kind of like the ukulele G, right? And then it goes back to E minor. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the chord, and then we're going to have the next chord and the next downbeat. So we're going to have a nice slow 4 count. So it's going to sound like this. E minor 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. And making sure when you play that D chord that you're only playing strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 and 6 don't get strummed. Okay, same with the C chord. Our 6th string does not get strummed. Let's try that again. So let's find that E minor to start. 1, 2, here we go. E minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, back to E minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. Option for modification here is we can use our 1 finger C chord and our one finger G chord and just focus on getting the full E minor and D. So that would look and sound like this. E minor, 3, 4, one finger C, 3, 4, one finger G, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. So that would be a good one if you're having a little bit of trouble with that C chord or that G chord, to start with just modifying both to the one finger chord. And then once you've got that pretty good, you can change it up. So maybe you only modify the C and it would look like this. Okay. E minor, 3, 4, modified C, 3, 4, full G, 3, 4, then D, 3, 4. Or maybe the C chord is the one you're having easy time with, so you modify the G. E minor, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, modified G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. Just remember, if you are using the modified one finger chords, you can only strum certain strings, right? So that's where my mistake came in just there. I strummed all the strings out of habit. All right, so take the time if you need to, pause the video, practice this chord progression. We're going to take a look at what that looks like in our song. So I have it up here. I did not put the intro in, but the intro is just that chord progression. So our intro would be E minor, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, then the first verse. She sees them walking in a straight line, but that's not really her style. And the G repeats here instead of going to the D. They all got the same heartbeat, but hers is falling behind. And again, the repeated G, 2, 3, 4. Nothing in this world could ever bring them down. Yeah, they're invincible, and she's just in the background. Now the chorus is where we come in with that D again. And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. I wish that I could be like the cool kids, like the cool kids. And that's the first verse and first chorus. So, of course, there is more verses and more choruses. But what I'm going to actually suggest for you guys to practice is to go to a website called Solfeggio. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So Solfeggio here is a free website to a point. You can see all these little lock signs, just means that those are paid content. But there is actually quite a bit of things up here for free. So I did a little bit of an ukulele review thing earlier on in the Extra Music Google Classroom. And so you can take a look at that as well for a little bit more in depth. But if we look in here, we can see Cool Kids is actually an option for us for free. So if we go learn song, it's going to take a moment to load. But what's really, really cool about this program is that you can change a whole bunch of things to make it work for you. So, we have it loaded. The first thing I'm going to do is go in here and I am going to turn off count in before playing. That's just for my own self. And I'm going to come up here and these little plus and minus buttons are a tempo. I'm going to slow the tempo down because we're still learning. Okay, I'll do that again. And I think I'm going to do it a third time for today. So this is really going to slow that tempo down to help us out. What I really like about Solfeggio is you can see in the bottom here, it shows us, I'll hide the toolbar here, it shows us a guitar. Now, their guitar is backwards, but it makes sense when we look at it because we're used to it from the chord charts. So we are It'll show it here, and then it'll also show our chord names as we go. And this red line is how to play along. So I'm going to let it play through the intro the first time, and then I'm going to play a little bit with it, and you guys can hear what it sounds like with all the background instruments as well. It's pretty cool to play with. Now I've really slowed it down, so it's almost an unrecognizable song. But you can see at the bottom, it's got those chords to help you out where it goes. 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3. So it's pretty cool to get to play along with all the other instruments that would be there, and it kind of makes it more of a song. Now that's really slow, and so the music sounds distorted because of that. So I'm going to go to what would be just one tempo down for you to hear what that would sound like. And then you could try adding in their strumming pattern. It's really important if you do add in the strumming pattern. You might have heard there. I slowed down and then I sped up. So if you are doing the strumming pattern adding, make sure you're still in tempo. Okay, so make sure you're still in tempo. What will help with that is just turning the volume up a little bit higher. I have it down lower so you can still hear my guitar, but that will help it out. Now that you have these 4 chords though, what is cool about solfeggio is you can go to filters and you can choose the chords you know. So we know C, D, E minor, and G. And that means we know 4 chords total. So here's the songs that you can play with those 4 chords. So you can see Good Riddance, Time of Your Life is in there as well. The other thing that you can do, if we go, take out those numbers of chords, you can see songs where we only have to learn like 1 more chord. So let's see, what's the popular one right now? Oh, Sweet Child of Mine is not really popular. Let's take these out because I happen to know a song that you guys could learn really quickly with the chords that you know that everybody likes right now called Dance Monkey. So Dance Monkey, and just give you an idea of what this looks like when you go in and learn a new chord that maybe we haven't learned in these videos yet. Again, waiting for it to load. It's a little bit of a longer song, so it takes longer to load. So we have E minor we know, C we know, D we know, and then the next one is going to be B minor. So if we were to play this at the beginning, and oh, here comes a chord you don't know. Once our red line hits that chord, we can pause it, and then we can riddle out that chord with our fingers to get that B minor. All right, that is it for today. Whoop. I haven't heard anybody or sent anything in yet to help you out or anything like that. So I'm curious to know how you guys are doing, if you're liking these videos. If you don't want to send in a video of you playing, if you want to just comment and be like, yes, Madame Brophy, I love these videos. Please keep making guitar videos. Because I don't think anybody's actually watching them. At least I don't know if they are because I haven't heard anything from you guys. So please let me know if you are doing them, and let me know if you're liking it, if you're liking it with the chord basis instead of doing the individual note basis. I know some of you might be also on musician, which teaches it another way. So just keeping in mind that this is designed to do after ukulele, which means that you have that kind of chord basing and background already. All right, I will see you guys next week where we will learn a couple of songs together. It'll be fun. All right, have a good week, guys, and stay safe. We'll see y'all later. Bye.